Kieran and all, I just wanted to start with the yields because they lead into the dollar. And so obviously when you come to the Discord and you come to US Treasuries, you may not understand how it works, but essentially in a sort of rough approximation is that we have green cells here that should lead into dollar strength. Now the thing is that these remain positive, the 3 and 6 month. So that reflects Fed policy and what the banks think about the most recent Q&A that we just had. And they're actually a little bit hesitant and they're holding on to their near-term yield. They're holding on to their near-term flight to safety. Because of that, we may see a little bit of a dollar strength, in so much we won't perhaps see persistent weakness because of those two there. So if we come to Euro USD, and the dollar is getting a bit of traction. And so what happened today is that we'd come down to take the SLC. It was 106.50, and one above is 107.50. They're not using any imagination at all. They're using their own numbers. So it goes to show that they're too busy to think about their risk management. And it's very, very typical of retail guys to do that. And probably worth noting is that there are people trying to buy. There's a big node of buyers here, and they're likely, possibly going to get punished because we saw those US yields firm near term, and that tells us what the banks are thinking about the latest Q&A. So that's a little bit of an omen, and also the yields as well. We're probably going to have a bit of a hangover tomorrow, but that's to be expected. And the bot did really well today. We had a 4R today, a 4.5R, sorry. So that's very, very good. And it's basically eradicated the losses from the week. And we'll just have to see how we go. If we get a hangover tomorrow, it's going to be a good test. It's not going to be ideal because we want to see some nice moves. It looks like we're going to be range bound again, you know, just between the SLCs. And so that's of note as well. So that's just a little bit of information in case you're wondering how to read that data. And we are in a state of complacency, so we are sort of monitor mode. We're not euphoric, we're not fear, we're just in the middle. The technicals are coming down slightly. We were pumping a lot, and the herd have also gone long slightly as well. So there's one little update on the QDB scores, is that we've got a change on the market structure summary now. Okay, so this is based on fundamental data. So whenever we have a data release, say like the PCE data or the CPI or unemployment, GDP, that will then get reflected. So this is like a fundamental column, and so we should see changes in the week. So we saw a positive change on the Euro USD because obviously we had some European data and we had some US data. And then this calculates, you know, the direction for the day based on the fundamental data that we've had. So there's probably a nice explanation for the pump that we had, because the data helped the Euro USD grind higher, and so it's going to be a good addition. And what we'll do when it comes to the weekend, I'll simply do copy, paste, and then we basically got the weekly change there. Okay, so nice little addition there. So we've got the QDB score, the QDB score change, the market structure summary, and the market structure summary change. So that's really quite cool. And we're just going to try and get colors to align. And if you get the colors to align, you should do okay. All right, so in theory, EuroCAD should have been okay today. We scroll right, and we've only just gone up slightly positive. So it wasn't a great demonstration, but on the week, we're doing okay. Okay. There's obviously a lot of turbulence, isn't it? So, you know, we had the Q&A. Power was positive, but it is worth noting about the yields as well. So let's show you the indices. And oil is interesting because this is important, because when we enact the game plan, which is the QDB go long strategy, what will happen on the indices is that will inevitably become a buy or a sell, but then there'll be a point in time where there's a little bit of naughty sort of price action. So they'd gone long, Yeah, they got paid, and I did a little rough estimate, and that's about 4 or 5 days between them going long. Okay, so they got punished slightly, but then they got paid. So when we have flip on indices, there's a good chance that we may have a couple of days of them getting paid. So we'll have some initial drawdown potentially, but then what will happen is that they'll short indices very heavily because that's just completely typical, and it's basically backed by tradition. That we never see the herd go long for a long period of time. They're always programmed to be bearish. So when we get the game plan signal to go long, we may have a little bit of drawdown to start. It may even mean that we're going to get stopped out a couple of times, but it will be an awesome long entry. Okay, we'll have to be patient with it. We'll look at gold. We'll just go through the indices and a bit of channel break, very heavy selling, and then they'd sold. So we created a box, and this is your entry. And the cool thing about the box is they tell you stop loss as well. Yeah, here. So you just like looking for a break with that box, and then you're looking to go long with a stop below the swing low. It's very really simple. And what time was that? Okay, so that was quite early. Yeah, 5 o'clock in the morning. So you'd woke up about 9. Well, actually, it's quite late, isn't it? 8 o'clock, and then you look there. So you'd go long at 2289, stop at 2281. Quite a wide stop. So, but then you're looking to get a good reward. As long as your reward is greater than your risk, then you'll do okay. So that's that. S&P. S&P was gross because we've done a big reversal. And yeah, and right, so that tells us the herd are getting absolutely screwed because they've gone long, big punishment. They'd sold, big punishment. They're absolutely clueless what's going on, and they're probably like sweating, like stressing, and under a lot of uncertainty, and because now they've gone long here. And now they got really punished. So it's a complete like destruction and devastation of the retail guys. I think this may be leading to a little bit of a hangover tomorrow, and they've gone long. So we should be below this box now. Right, so this is going to be a bearish development because of this. That spike tells us that they've gone long. So this is going to be fairly bearish. So we should be below this box. So it's very, very interesting, and they just get absolutely destroyed. It's horrible, isn't it? You've got to know your exit. Someone asked me in Telegram about US 30, and it was a buy. Where does it buy? Well, actually, no, that's them going long, so it's a sell. Here's the buy, of course, right? And going to make it a quick one now. So I'll stop after this. And there, isn't it? So that's it was quite a large candle. There's a large candle, and so there's the buy opportunity. However, we've come into the resistance from the prior box. So hopefully that's clear. See the old box? We went long, so price fell, and then therefore creating a supply, and then they'd sold, so price went up, and it hit the supply, and now at that point they went long. They're going long. So if we get the crossover, we're going to make a box. So we're going to have an overlapping thin box with an overlapping large box. So we're going to be double bearish on that. So be careful. We've obviously got well supported, and you zoom out, and we're going to be really well supported on big time frames as well. So I will wrap up now. It's been a long day. It's been good. We've had a good day on the bot, and the community was really cool as well today. Loads of awesome stuff, especially in the any other business as well. There was a video that Marco posted. Watch that video. It was really amazing. It was about the world's best trader and about his story, and it was really, really insightful as well. And it's actually quite gave you a lot of motivation if you watch it as well. So it just proves that anyone can make it if they put their mind to it. And so it's quite a cool video. And also, if you need us to help you, just let us know as well. We won't mind. And so that's it. So I'll speak to you guys tomorrow. Trade safely. We may well have a hangover tomorrow, and then we're probably likely going to make a big bearish punishment box on the indices because it looks like they're trying to buy here. Okay, so be careful. Risk disclaimer for anything that you do in the financial world is that you will need to use very strict risk management. So if you don't have the risk management in play, you're pretty much gambling. Okay, and we really want to be looking at trading, and we want to be looking at risk to rewards. And in order to get a good reward, you need to define your risk. And if you don't know where your stops are, if you haven't defined your risk, then you could end up losing all your capital. Okay, so you need to know where your exit is, and then by knowing that, then you can forecast your profit. But if you're entering willy-nilly based on some information that you found on the internet and you've entered without knowing where your stop is, you're going to encounter huge losses. So just to say is that it carries a huge level of risk, and it may not be suitable for all investors, and past performance is not indicative of future results. Okay, so it's a quick disclaimer there.